Among the major cryptocurrencies, TonCoin has been one of the best performers in the last week. The question is why? Let's have a look at the data most people are not considering. Let's try to figure out how much longer this rally can last and what has to happen for the rally to continue. So this is the situation. TonCoin has appreciated by more than 30% in the last week. It's got a market cap of 8.6 billion, and all of the other cryptocurrencies that have appreciated to a similar degree, they are smaller in market cap. It looks like we are just bouncing off a support. We've come from $8 all the way down to $2.50. Now we're getting back up, and that's happening while the total value locked on chain, on the Ton blockchain, tends to rather decline since summer of last year. So this is now measured in US dollars. We peaked at almost 800 million. Now we are down to 140 million. But even measured in TonCoin, it doesn't look that great. There was a lot of growth and then it all turned around in July, August of last year. The downtrend was so bad that now TonCoin is, in terms of its total value locked, only at rank number 31 across all blockchains. There are blockchains you've probably never heard of that have more total value locked, like Rootstock and Tyco and Bob and B squared, etc. Right? Those have more total value locked now than the Ton blockchain. And this is all happening while there's still a lot of attention on Ton. The prior video on Ton on this channel was rather critical of the blockchain, and it did get a lot of views. So the average view on this channel per video is this gray area over here, and the TonCoin video outperformed by quite a lot. The title of the video is The TonCoin Death. It might have sounded a bit exaggerated at the time, but yeah, this is how the total value locked developed. The price also went down from $5.26 to currently $3.47. Now here's the thing, most people think that altcoins just go down because of tokenomics, as in the supply is expanding very quickly, and because of the supply expansion, if demand cannot catch up, then the price tends to underperform Bitcoin and Ethereum. And in most cases that's true. For TonCoin, it seems to be slightly different because the number of circulating Ton did actually not increase that much over the last months. It went from 5.09 billion to 5.11. It's very little supply expansion. At the same time, the number of activated accounts grew much more. But again, the price went down, the usage went down. So all of that account growth does not really result in capital inflows. What seems to be happening is rather something different. It appears as if there are a few stakeholders, potentially market makers, that hold a lot of the Ton supply and that are simply selling this off over time. The Ton network was able to partially participate in the meme coin rally, right? There was NotCoin, that's also now down a lot. But besides that, we haven't seen a lot of adoption in decentralized finance. And so it's just the early investors, etc., that are selling off over time. But let's see, maybe it still makes sense to buy now, at least relative to other cryptocurrencies. Let's have a look at some relative valuation charts. This here is TonCoin relative to Ethereum. And interestingly enough, we are in a somewhat constant trading range. Sometimes TonCoin is cheap, sometimes it's expensive, and rallies like this can be more than 300%. It looks like we are rather balanced on that relative valuation now. Here is TonCoin relative to Solana. Now this is interesting. Here we've got a rally of 1000%. Here we've got another rally of 200%, and we're just coming off that support again. And here we've got TonCoin relative to Bitcoin. Again, there seems to be somewhat of a constant floor, and we are bouncing off that floor, and there is potential for a rally of maybe 200% versus Bitcoin. Now the issue is that rallies like this don't happen out of nowhere. We are now cheap in Ton, but we have to see some kind of adoption through some kind of a protocol that can reignite the excitement. It's unlikely that we're going to go massively down from here, but if we want to bounce to those prior levels compared to summer of 2024, we have to see the next news story for Ton. Because since summer of 2024, the total value locked of Ton is going down. The usage is going down. We have to find usage again. If we find usage again, we can see another rally. If we don't, the current recovery that we're currently seeing might die down rather quickly. In the end, it's the big holders, the large wallets that determine the price here. All of trading volume happens on the centralized exchanges. We've also got perpetual futures on the price. So if somebody decides to get in with some leverage, then of course TON can go up. But the market cap is already large. The maximum upside relative to Bitcoin is 200%. And the overall market, as in the rest of the altcoins, have to also be in line. That's the problem now, right? Recently, in the last few months, pretty much all of the altcoins are going down. It's not just TonCoin, it's also Solana, it's also Ethereum, etc. And it seems like TonCoin is one of the most depressed assets that is now starting to recover. Clearly, the overall situation in crypto has changed recently, and there seems to be one event that started it all off. What we've got over here is the Bitcoin price, and this red circle marks when Donald Trump launched his meme coin. So that's this over here. Most people got burned with that meme coin. If you bought this in the first few hours after launch, you made money. If you didn't, you lost money. Since the launch, Bitcoin lost 21% of its value. Of course, the Trump token lost much more. A lot of other altcoins also lost more. And so the majority of people lose, of course, when the market looks like this. There's pretty much nobody that has their entire crypto portfolio in Maker or in Bearer or in Bitcoin Cash. Even if you hold those tokens, you probably have a diversified portfolio and you're down with all of those other tokens. Now here's something that's not so obvious. We see Bitcoin over here. Bitcoin went up by 14% in the last year. And this is now the top 100 ordered by their performance in the last year. And there are a few altcoins that did better than Bitcoin. Two of them being gold derivatives, so PaxG and Tether Gold. But there's also others that performed slightly better. But the vast majority of altcoins actually performed much, much worse. If you picked a random altcoin in the top 100 1 year ago, you've got roughly an 80% chance that you underperformed simply Bitcoin. And that's of course a problem, right? Because altcoins have more risk, and so in theory, they should also perform better, especially during times when Bitcoin tends to go up. And so I don't try to find the needle in the haystack. I don't try to pick the bearer coin in order to then make money. I do the exact opposite. I bet on the vast majority of altcoins doing worse than Bitcoin. And most of the time, that strategy makes money. Have a look at this, for example. This is Matic relative to Bitcoin, a very constant underperformance. Or this is Balancer relative to Bitcoin. Again, a very constant underperformance. And we can make money from that relative valuation. We don't have to bet on Balancer or on Matic going down versus the US dollar. We can bet on it doing worse than Bitcoin and make money when this thing continues to go down. Or we can also mirror that chart, right? We can just bet on this continue to go up. This is now Bitcoin relative to Matic. That's the logarithmic chart. This is the linear chart. So why does this happen? The reason is tokenomics, right? It's the altcoins that print more and more tokens, and that token allocation goes to the insiders, it goes to the developers. And for meme coins, we don't necessarily have an expanding supply, but for meme coins, we tend to have a lot of ownership by the insiders as well that simply sell off over time. And that's why Bitcoin performs so well versus all of those altcoins. And that's why I believe those are the kinds of charts we want to bet on. Yes, we can of course try to time Bitcoin itself, and we can try to buy this at 16K and then sell it at 100K. And this is a possible way to make money. I'm also trying to time Bitcoin. But why would we try to pick the few altcoins that perform still okay? Why not just flip this thing around and make money when those bubbles are red? So for example, over here on the 6th of December, I have made a premium update video how I have sold some of my Bitcoin because a liquidity crunch was incoming. So that was over here. I've made another announcement on the 25th of February how I've sold all of my speculative Bitcoin and how I'm selling all of my altcoin positions. And that was over here. I opened a position betting on falling prices of Chainlink on the 23rd of January. I opened a short position on Dogecoin and on PancakeSwap on the 14th of February. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because I've now closed the Chainlink position, so it lost 42% in the span of a few weeks. I've also closed the Cake short, which went down versus BNB by 27%. And I've also closed the Dogecoin short, also in profit. So really, when you know what you're doing, if you know how to do the proper risk management, that you don't get liquidated, and when you have the odds in your favor during times like this, when most altcoins underperform Bitcoin, then it is rather rather straightforward to make money like this. We don't have to find the needle in the haystack. We don't have to make 100x returns with a random meme coin. We can simply just let our capital compound by making 20% here and 40% over here. Most people are scared of betting on falling prices. But that's why I've made dedicated tutorial videos on the topic, how to do the proper risk management, how to set up those positions also in DeFi and Web3, not just with centralized exchanges, how to do this cost efficiently, and also how to select the right assets to short. There's more than 100 tutorial videos in total in premium. The link is down below. It's thebitcoinstrategy.com. Of course, I'm also sharing in detail how I currently see the market. There's a premium update video every 3 to 4 days. And I challenge you to look at other influencers, what they said during those times, right? Have a look at the date, have a look at the title of those different premium update videos, and let me know who said already on February 18th that it might make sense to bet on falling prices, or that crypto stopped expanding in the last 2 to 3 weeks, or how your influencer is selling aggressively. I don't really see many other influencers saying it like it is. Most YouTube channels just sell hopium. Most YouTube channels just want to push up their own bags, but they're not really looking realistically at the prices. They're not really looking at how much are people actually already in profit and when will that profit be taken. So if you appreciate during times like this that I keep it real, then of course feel free to give this video a like. Feel free to also subscribe. I publish videos regularly, and of course feel free to also check out premium. The link is down below. Looking very much forward to seeing you there as well. Cheers.